I've never seen one of those before. Have you guys ever seen one of those?
Angel Knot.
Salutations to the nations. What's good, Angel Knots? It's your boy, Young Sinai. So today we're going to be watching a video by Stop, Drop, and Retro. I've seen this video. It is very old. This video is 4 years old, but I've seen it, but I don't remember much about it. But I wanted to check it out with you all because I know, most of us here are handheld gamers, right? And prayerfully, none of us ever have to use this handheld console, okay? Let's go ahead and check it out.
Hello everyone, welcome back. I've been elsewhere. Not important. The good news is that I brought something back for us to look at. This is a prison-issued gaming console made by ClearTunes. It is a very rare and pretty interesting device, and we got a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. Now, before we get into the unit itself,
the fact that they give prisoners a handheld console is nuts.
I'm sure some of you are wondering, how the hell are prisoners able to get games behind bars? Well, it's not as unusual as you may think. I first heard about this back in 2010 when there was a news report about some prisoners in the UK who turned a PS1 into a tattoo gun. Those are some hardcore PlayStation fans. So there are other parts of the world where prisoners have...
If you got any gaming tattoos, let me know in the comments. I don't have any tattoos. I want some tattoos, but I got eczema and psoriasis, so I feel like I low-key don't want to risk it because that's neither here nor there.
Have access to video games. And according to this news story that I found, some prisoners in the US are able...
Let me know, my bad. Let me know in the comments if you have eczema or psoriasis, but you have tattoos. And if so, does that affect your tattoos? Okay? Let me know. My bad. I was going to leave it alone, but I really want to know the answer to this question.
Are able to get more modern hardware, but it really depends on what state you're in. It's not something available nationwide. So if you're going to commit crime, make sure you do it in Oregon, Utah, Kentucky, West Virginia, Maryland, or Maine. Other channels won't tell you that.
You see how old these consoles are? I mean, they're not super old, but like I said, this video is 4 years old.
The Stop, Drop, and Retro difference. Stop, Drop, and Retro is not responsible for crimes he orders you to commit. The one that I have appears to be more readily available, and according to the splash screen, it was made in 2011. And this isn't the only prison-related thing that I own. I've been able to obtain a few other items from the inside, including a TV, an alarm clock, a tablet, and even a phone! I don't know why I'm so drawn to these items. It must be something about owning an item that the general public isn't supposed to have.
Everything's clear. I think he's going to get into why everything's clear, and it might be kind of obvious. But it really reminds me of stuff in the early 2000s. Like everything was clear and colorful, like the old IMAX.
It's like if you own something from North Korea. So how does a prisoner obtain these? Well, you can't buy them off the street. And even if you could, you wouldn't be able to send it to an inmate. For inmates and their families to get items, you have to order from this special catalog. This catalog has all sorts of stuff. Prayer rugs, socks, typewriters, and these handhelds. There they are, and at the time they cost $35. And I'm saying handhelds because there's more than one, and I happen to have two. I have the models HG501 and HG503. I'm pretty sure there was an HG502. I've seen some documents where that model is listed, but I have not been able to track one down. You'll also see some other handhelds that were available, and on the front page you could see the Tetris model. Weirdly enough, I don't think that one has a clear case, and it's widely available. There doesn't seem to be anything special about it. Now let's get into the unit itself. Some of you eagle-eyed viewers might even recognize what this device is based on. It's based on a cheap handheld from a company called Lexibook, and it retains most of...
I've never seen one of those before. Have you guys ever seen one of those? Lexibook is a very dumb name for a handheld, though, I will say that.
Most of the features from that. This device had a lot of spin-offs. I even have this official Ferrari branded one. Imagine the scope of people who played this thing. You have some bratty kid playing the Ferrari one, while his dad convicted of fraud is playing the ClearTunes one. When you look at the unit from the outside, the most obvious difference is that it has a clear case. Almost everything ordered from that catalog has a clear case to it. Even the typewriters. The reason why is, well...
Hey, that's legit. That look like something that they would sell on Etsy.
Well, clear. It makes it much harder for an inmate to hide a weapon or contraband or anything they're not allowed to have. But unfortunately, that makes it hard for me to show you the markings with a camera. But they're identical to the Lexi book, so I'll just show you with that one. You can see it has a D-pad and 4 face buttons, but 2 of those buttons are just turbo buttons. The left button powers it on, and then the other ones are reset and pause. It has a volume knob, a headphone jack, and video out. I've got to rant for a sec about the video out though. Most handhelds like this use a 3.5mm jack for video out. It's a cable that's really easy to find. It's like an industry standard. However, these ones use this tiny little plug. I don't know why they went with this. I had to look everywhere for the right one, and when I do have it connected, it's so unstable that it causes connection issues. The only reason this thing exists is to piss me off. Moving on, there are some other differences. Instead of Phillips head screws, the screws on the unit are like those triangular security screws. I guess that's to make it harder for the inmate to tamper with it. And on the 501 model, it doesn't have a screw for the battery cover. I don't know if it ever had one there. If it did, an inmate probably turned it into a battle axe by now. But I'm thinking it didn't have one, because on the later 503 model, that hole has been filled in.
I'm going to fast forward this part, guys, because I really just want you all to see the games that are on this, okay? So we get it. It's clear. That's very interesting. We know why it's clear. All right, I'm going to fast forward.
Interesting. The first game is called Tiger Rescue, and it's an overhead shooter. And it's not too bad either. It's pretty standard, but it's fun. We're off to a good start.
That's legit. All right, we're going to judge this on if the game look like it sucks. We going to give it a Nelson. Wow, that's so loud. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. Nelson is so obnoxious. And if it looks dope, we going to give it a... All right, here we go. So this one looked pretty dope. So it gets a...
The next game might have our first example of English. It's called Lighting Plan. It's pretty much a side-scrolling version of the previous game, but yes, it's called Lighting Plan, not lightning like lightning in the sky or the lightning fighter jet. Lighting Plan like how you would design a porch. This one's not too bad either, but it feels a little more repetitive than Tiger Rescue. Game number 3 is Deep Storm.
Okay, so that second one, that looked kind of clean.
It's another shoot 'em up, and this one tries to do like a 2.5D thing. It's neat, but it's really hard to know if something's about to hit you. The bosses are also really interesting, but there's tons of slowdown. And this game doesn't seem to be that demanding, so it must be really, really weak.
Yeah,
Game number 4 is Jewel Master 2. It's a Columns ripoff, and it pretty much sets the tone for what most of the console has. It's a lot of pattern games and one-screen puzzles, stacking games. Shovelware is a generous description. Moving on to Squirrel Bobble, this is a pretty decent game. It's one of those games where you're like shooting...
That game looks like a Snood. Have y'all ever played Snood? I'm gonna give this game a...
bubbles and then making other bubbles fall down. I forgot what game it's based on, but it's not that bad. Treasure Hunt seems to be a Lode Runner clone.
I was gonna say that looks like Lode Runner. Anything that's Lode Runner. I loved Lode Runner as a kid.
All you have to do is collect all the gems and find the exit. Just like Lode Runner, you could dig these holes in front and behind you. But the weird thing is that as far as I got in the game, there's no enemy.
I was just about to say, I was like, yo, there's no enemies. So I'm going to take back. I hit perfect a bunch of times, man. Now I feel dumb. Now I'm going to have to take that back and give it a...
In Lode Runner, the main reason for digging those holes is to trap enemies. But in this one, it seems you just use that to drop down. I guess they're trying to be different by removing features? I don't know. Go Bang is some sort of a hieroglyphics puzzle game, but I can't figure out how to play it because the music is pure torture. I don't know what it is. Every time I hear it, I get a splitting headache.
Yeah, that does sound horrible.
I don't know what's going on. I'm usually not sensitive to it and lay down for a while. Squirrel Bobble game. I've seen this game on a lot of cheap handhelds and it's not too bad. Feed Sort is a box moving game, and it stars Gus from Disney's Cinderella. It's not even a ripoff of him with like a different hat color or something. It's just him. They're not even trying to hide it. It's kind of ironic that Handheld for Prisoners has stolen IP on it.
Yeah, that's crazy work. That's
Next is Get the Meat, and I think that's another misspelling because I don't think it's supposed to be like meet with people. I'm pretty sure they meant meat as in like food because that's what you do in the game. Your character's a caveman. I think it's a ripoff of Joe and Mac, and you have to go through this maze of doors collecting food and dodging enemies. It's not—
You know what that reminds me of? On the Mario movie, when he kept going through different tunnels and kept ending up in random different places, like in the beginning of the movie, when he first got to the Toadstool Kingdom. Is that what it's called? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm the Mushroom Kingdom. Oh my gosh, I'm tripping.
It's not that great, but I thought it was interesting because the character might be another stolen IP. Firefighter is a good game. It might even be a great game.
That game looks good. It reminds me of, you remember back when Apple first came out with the Apple Store and there was a bunch of donut games? They had this one game called Titanic. That reminds me of that. So I'm going to give it a...
It's one of those trampoline games where you have to save people, but it has different levels, the music is tolerable, there's bonuses to pick up, and some level of strategy involved. It totally stands out from the other games here. I also think it's funny that when you save everyone, there's a helicopter that comes and just bombs the whole place. Great job, firefighters.
This is very ironic because, like I said, it reminded me of that Titanic game, and this one, they're saving people off of a ship.
Comes and just bombs the whole place. Great job, firefighters. This is one of the few games I can honestly say that I had fun with. Potball is a ripoff of Pang, and it starts...
Is that Ness from Earthbound? Yes, it's Ness from Earthbound.
The game is pretty awful because your shot only goes so far, your character moves way too slow, and that makes it really hard to complete a stage. Mr. Onion seems to be a ripoff of New Zealand Story, and when
I thought it was going to be a ripoff of Pac-Man.
I looked this up, it seems that there's an alternative title to this game because it also goes by the name One Day of Mr. Potato. Something about that is very amusing. Like, he's not having a good day or a bad day. This is just a regular day for him where he has to rescue a female Kirby.
That game looks pretty fun.
Seek Resources is a very simple maze game. You just have to collect everything while dodging these tanks. It's not that bad, but the game preys on your boredom and that's how it kills you. Plumber is a side-scroller where your character jumps and collects things, and he's a plumber. I don't know if that's enough to call this a Mario clone. It plays alright, but there's no music. Then again, on this handheld, if they added music, maybe it would make the thing crash. You need to collect all the keys and get to the end, but it doesn't tell you that. So if you don't have all the keys when you get to the end of the level, you're just stuck there. When that happened, I realized the character has a really weird blinking animation. It's like he has no eyelids, but his pupils blink. Imagine if you were out walking around and you saw someone do that. It freaked me the hell out. Whoa, what the hell is that? He's doing a little dance and shaking his ass. Kinda weird for a game without music, but now it makes sense why you're collecting all this stuff. It's to set my drink on that badonk. The next two games are dumb, but I feel like I need to show them to you because if not, somebody's gonna ask for it in the comments. Manic Troll is a claw game where you're trying to get coins. I have no idea what's so manic about it or why it has troll in the name. I don't know, maybe the name itself is a troll. Brave Kaka is...
Okay, so I'm gonna get that one. And I know I'm missing some games.
Is a Mario Brothers clone, but way worse. The game works on like a grid, so you can't just jump anywhere you want to. You have to stop exactly where it lets you, and then you could jump and hit enemies. It's so weird when these companies clone a game and manage to make it worse. Go Smile is a maze game which is actually not that bad. You're a centipede that has to collect coins, and if an enemy touches you, you blow up. Hero Legend is a game where you have a hammer and you get to throw enemies like a frisbee.
Are you Link?
It's kind of like the same mechanics behind Bubble Bobble. It's actually pretty good, I had fun with this game. Go-Kart is a racing game, but it's actually more like a time attack game because there's no opponents. The way the car turns is also hard to explain. It's like the driver yanks the wheel at first, and then he's really slow to turn after that. And of course they had to add in the most annoying engine sound ever. Cool Mission is a platforming game, and not a very good one at that. That's because the jump button sometimes doesn't work. I don't know why, maybe it's when too many things are on screen, but I swear sometimes the button refuses to work and then you're killed. Those are all the games I wanted to show you on the earlier 501 console.
I don't think I have it in me to see what's left on the other console. Let's look at like 3.
The 503 version has most of the same games, but they took out 9 of them, and I think I know why. But before we get into that, let's look at the 9 games that they added so that it's still a 50-in-1 handheld. They added a game called Motor Rally 2. It's a motorcycle game with really bad music. It's kind of funny that the music doesn't actually loop, it just stops at the end, and then it just starts up again. And the gameplay here is so bad that you don't even need to turn. Let me repeat that. It's a racing game where you don't need to steer. Seriously, look, I'm going into a turn, I clearly have my thumb off the controls, and the game turns for you. The only way you could go off course is if you steer yourself off course. It's just terrible. Magic Cube is a Tetris clone, and let's see if you could recognize the music.
I'm turning it down. Actually, I ain't trying to get no copyright strike. Actually, I'm gonna probably end it there because I can't bear to look at any more of those games. Let's all pray to Jesus that we never have to go to prison and never have to experience those games. But I will say, I think that it's cool that they have the option to play a handheld in prison. That's crazy. That's wild. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I have such mixed feelings. On one hand, I love games, but on the other hand, if you somebody, now you're sitting in your prison cell playing Mr. Potato or whatever it's called, like, I'm not sure. I don't think I like that. But I don't know. Is this just privileges for certain inmates who are good? Like, I don't know. If you know, if you've been locked up, you know a family member who been locked up, or you got this handheld or something, let me know. Give me more details, okay? He might have said it in the video, but your boy ADHD was ADHDing, so I had to fast forward a little bit. But anyways, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for checking this out with me. And please make sure that you like and subscribe and share the video. I'm on my journey to my first 1,000 subs. If you subscribe, then you can see how to win a trim you wide brick. Okay? God bless and salutations to the nations. Peace.
Angel 9.